But there was a couple of things he did right. So first of all, it was a Swiss company, so people trusted the privacy of it. Secondly, he was really good at it. He had about 900 employees at the peak of his uh, company, and he did a thorough job, right? He did not make any mistakes. The labeling was perfect, and he did a superb job, right? Now one would ask the question, what kind of data is he recycling? I'll tell you. So for example, if you go and type something on, let's say, ChatGPT, right, or Anthropic, you have that text which you put in. That is exactly what he used to structure, right? So he used to take that text, like a bunch of text. OpenAI, let's say, used to collect the whole thing and send it to it. There is a kind of a vector DB format which needs, like, entire thing has to be put into like a maths table and structured, cleaned up, and labeled, right, so that the AI companies can use it. So he does that little packaging and he sends it back to them. It was a little known company, no flashy things. There was not even a B2C model here; it was purely B2B, and this is what he used to recycle, right? And it was a great business and he was doing really well, right? So what does this teach us, right? It teaches us that there are, like, when you do a startup, you're always thinking huge. Nothing wrong with it, you should, but you're always thinking along the traditional lines. Like, you're trying to create this app, which has to solve a problem for like a billion people, right? But have you thought about something else, like this guy here? What if I build something really good and cater to a business which is already doing that? So let's say there is an app which has already done what you're doing and they are already catering to $1 billion audience. You might come up with a service which caters to them in the back end, and you'll be surprised at the value that it can bring you, just like this guy, right? I even I did some personal research on this and I asked, why isn't it's like, seems so obvious, why isn't OpenAI doing this? It's their data, right? Why don't they control it? Why don't they put like a large team to do this labeling by themselves? So very interesting. One of the reasons is that these large companies don't want to touch this. They want to focus on model improvement. So this, they feel, is like a redundant task, like it should be outsourced. Just like that apartment I gave the example, there are tasks which nobody wants to tackle. This was like that, right? So they preferred to give it to this guy. Privacy, he actually really nailed privacy, right? Because he, OpenAI and Anthropic and all these others really trusted him, right? So that's something which he achieved, which is fantastic. And also, the third point, which I think is the most important thing, he brought in a hybrid model, right? Meaning, when he validated and structured a particular data and before passing it to these companies, he brought in human checkpoints, a hybrid model where manually they even verified that the information is correct, which was a huge thing. So these large companies, they can't hire large people and control all these things. And this guy actually nailed it. And today, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the youngest billionaires in the world. He's like 24, 25 years, and he has really hit it, right? And on a bit of a side note, I heard that OpenAI is now looking for new vendors because Meta has bought this company, so they really can't send their data to anymore. And I think Anthropic is also doing the same. But interesting case study. All in all, there are always, we think that it's the people who make the loudest of noise who get the breakthroughs and doing different things. But there are actually cases like this. Companies who fly under the radar at the right moment, they just burst out, just like this guy. So hats off, great job. Thank you.